welcome to today's video. So today I wanted to talk to you about when you look at yourself. I had talked about, self-improvement the other day, and I talked about, your self-image, and your self-image consists of your identity, which is how you see yourself and how you think people view you. So it's your perspective of how you view yourself and how you perceive people to view you. And they make up 6 different components. It was your appearance, your intellect, skills, moral view, sexual as far as masculine, feminine, and your personality. Okay, those 6 things and how you view them and how you perceive others to view you in all 6 of those categories kind of form your identity. So we should be constantly assessing those situations and also finding ways where we are unhappy to work on those situations where we are unhappy. If you're not fit and you feel like you want to be fit, or you're unhappy and maybe depressed over it, maybe you should, work on going to the gym or eating better to shave that 10 pounds off. I mean, if it's your appearance, maybe to be more well-groomed. If it's your personality, then if you have things that you're dealing with in your personality to make you a little more outgoing or whatever. So we got to focus on ways to increase these things where we feel we are maybe unequipped, or we feel that we have negative thoughts about ourselves. Now, the thing that kind of hit me was when I was going over this, that people can get kind of confused about, and they can smush their past viewing of themselves with their present and their future. So I when I was kind of assessing myself, I'm like, wow, sometimes I think that I have done that, gotten my past and my present kind of smushed together. And it kind of shows that, you have a lack of advancement and stuff. It just, you're kind of mulling it all together. And so I think it's very important to separate those. And that's what I wanted to get at, to separate those, your past from your current, because your past is always used just as a reference. And your present is maybe who you are, maybe to gap it in the last year, in the last 12 months. And how have I grown? Have I seen improvement? And if not, kind of come up with maybe some skills and things that you can put together so that you can have a vision of your future to better yourself. Not just say I'm bettering myself, but actually things to work on, to pinpoint certain details, to dwell on it. Because sometimes if you don't dwell on these things, you don't really know. You just know you feel bad, or you're depressed, or you're anxious. So these are ways I think that can help you, but also to focus when you deal with individuals about the energy levels as far as what you're absorbing and what you're rejecting. And it's not just reactionary, but you can absorb a lot of energy too that's negative. And so you kind of want to look at things from a flat point of view. It's not that you don't have emotions, but you kind of got to start there, because if you start with like not accepting anything, see, sometimes right away we're ready to absorb in the past, So it's like if you kind of look at things flatly when somebody is talking with you, it's kind of like, this is the situation. It's just straight business. When we say you just gray rock, in a sense, when you talk to people that you don't know and strangers and people, and they could be crying, they could be doing anything. I would suggest kind of deal with everybody with some sort of a gray rock fashion until you get to know them personally and vet them for having good fruit, so that you kind of know where they're coming from. But it's hard, man, because you've probably been dropping a lot of fuel to outsiders not even knowing it. And the narcissist, so they really like the 9 fruits of the spirit: love, joy, peace, patience, and I should memorize these: long suffering, goodwill. But there's 9 of them. You can look them up. But you want to work on these. If you want to be whole, then these 9 things are what, in your relationship with God, through Christ, is where you strengthen these 9 things. These 9 things are here to bring wholeness to you. Okay? And if you don't have joy, you got to figure out and find out why you don't have joy in your life. And I'm dealing with these things as well. But going over it the other day helped me to focus on it myself. Because if I'm trying to preach it to you, I need to understand it too. And, I started to dwell on some things because we all deal with issues sometimes. Sometimes we don't know where they're coming from. And so I wanted to let you know. Maybe you've been giving your energy to somebody or absorbing somebody else's negative energy and trying to process it. Ways to heal is it's always like, people don't tell you this, and it's huge, but prayer and reading the word is really huge in your self-growth, and to worship God. And when you so you can't look at the world's Christians. You got to just look at yourself and the word and know him. And it's your relationship. You could be the only Christian in the world, right? And I know you're not. I'm saying, like, you could be the only Christian in the world, but it doesn't matter. You may have nobody to look at. You have to be okay with that, because this is the world we live in, and you can't look at the world like, oh, you just want to work on your prosperity life with Christ, because he's your advocate with the Father, and you need to know him, and he will lead you, man. I mean, just if you read the word daily, and if you focus on these 9 gifts of the Spirit and how you are operating in them or without them, it'll help you to also kick all this junk out of your life. Like if you're listening to this stupid music, I mean, this is what gives you the ability to walk through things and not get caught up in it. And so we were getting caught up on things, but we're not living right. I mean, chances are, I'll just say, chances are, when you're with the narcissist, you're not living, you're being attacked, and you gotta know, if this is spiritual warfare, that you're operating to some degree, probably, I'll just speak for myself, I was operating incorrectly. Because if I would have been operating correctly, I would have never got myself caught up with this individual. And in a relationship, if you don't have these 9 fruits of the Spirit that you can act in and operate in, then it's the wrong relationship. Or if you can't feel them towards the person you're with. Do you love the person? Yes. Do the person love you? If they don't, well, that kills it right there. Can you have peace in the relationship? This is my point. Can you have blessings in the relationship? Can you have long suffering? Does that person have long suffering for you? Do they have patience for you? So these are things that will help you. These are the red flags, y'all. These are the red flags that will tell you if you should join with somebody or not. And it's for life, man. From, the person that you get with, you want to get with them for life. You want to build a firm foundation and start from these gifts of the Spirit. And then, don't get caught up in like new age and stuff. Just, it's about your walk with Christ. And people just, they have made it look ruined out there. And some of these TV pastors and stuff, like, it's not about money, and it's not about financial blessing. I mean, when you get to heaven, you walk on gold streets, y'all. You just want to feel right in here with him. And that's, and right in here with him, and as much as you can, your opportunities with man and woman, and these people in the world. But you don't do anything that's going to sacrifice your situation with God and through Christ, man. And this is huge. It's everything. And I don't think people on narcissism and narcissistic channels talk on this. And I am, because I can't live without them. And you can't either. Thank you for watching.